I forgot how easy it is to just set your camera up and go, let it rip. It just actually that makes me think of there's this dude on YouTube named Alicia Long, and he has this thing called well, I don't know if it's specifically his thing, but retardmaxxing. And I've kind of been carrying this principle into my life where I don't want to think too much, and not thinking by smoking or dulling myself out, but not thinking by moving off of instinct instead of trying to calculate every move. There's of course there's guidelines you need to have every day to make sure that some tasks are done. Make sure you put gas in your car, make sure the bills are paid. But in terms of trying to micromanage every hour or try to always get a certain outcome, I think a lot of our lives are instinctual, and things just kind of happen as we go along, and we just try to keep a positive mental attitude, and that's not always smiling ear to ear, but sometimes it could just be baseline thinking, just showing up, setting a plan for yourself, and then just letting what happens, not beating yourself up for not getting what you want immediately, but also not being so quick to change the mundane or the boring or the quiet moments too, So I really like that retard maxing, and then the name's kind of jarring, and it just makes you think like, hey, it makes you think not to think too much, Sometimes they toss your headphones in, veg out, do just the next thing that makes you feel good. And don't fall into such gratifying behavior, but also you don't have to hyperfixate on so many things. And I've noticed how much that's helped me. I used to sit there with a pen and paper, and I'm trying to calculate each moment of my day or each hour. And if the thing that I wanted didn't happen on that, I feel like I was missing out on something, or I wasn't fulfilling my checklist correct. But I think part of it just needs to be instinctual. And I don't know, it's a power in that, in work, in social settings. Sometimes we don't always need to be paired to an itinerary, and everything needs to happen. Sometimes you need a wrench, something that just kind of resets you. And a lot of times what I think happens is we get so used to going that when something crazy does happen, we have to do that reset, and then we see how much happens in the small moments. But we wait until a catastrophe happens. You wait for a car accident to start reflecting. You wait until a death in the family to start thinking back about the quiet moments. You wait until you have to go to jail to start thinking like, man, actually I had it good. So I think if we can add in some of these forceful retard moments where you don't have to do anything but just sit, maybe eat you a little snack, hang out with your pets, hang out with your friends, and don't plan too far in advance. Don't cater your whole life around just a limited bit that you have that you think you want. Sometimes you have everything you want, And I think it's just safe. And I think for my little animals, for my little babies, that they don't leave this house, So their existence is within these walls, and am I going to deny the fun that they can have within this house based on what I want to have outside, or do I feel like their life isn't good because they're stuck in here? And then flip that back on myself. Like, is my life not good if I'm not out doing something, out buying something, out seeing someone? No, I can find and be just as happy here, and I don't know, it's just sometimes you have to socially compare where different people are in life to see how good you have it. And I just think that's something that we could all do. We could retard max a little more. You don't have to think, just show up. You know, I will still say set loose aims. I'm not telling you to just walk around blindly. Set loose aims and goals. But after you think about something that you want, you have the direction, you know. The fixation on it doesn't have to be there. That pressure that you put on yourself doesn't have to be there at all moments of the day. I think you can circle back to, you know, reassess. Even if it's daily, you just go back to reassess where it is that you want to ultimately end up. That's powerful. But I used to stress myself out and just held a lot of anxiety, not knowing, you know, what my next move is, or thinking I needed to calculate my next move. So I don't know. I want to share that because it's been beneficial for me to just go retarded a little bit. You know, not saying you need to dull yourself out, be intoxicated. You know, that was my thing. I've been, well, actually, I might make another video on that. But yeah, just everyone could practice retard maxing a little bit, and maybe I should find a softer word for it. But I think it's powerful to, you know, not think. Ironically, but I'll talk to y'all later.